Hi, I'm Amy, and I love to talk about reducing overwhelm to live more intentionally and creatively. Well, I've been doing a lot of reducing in this house as I'm trying to declutter 80% of what I own, getting ready for a move. I've also been doing a lot of painting projects, I don't know if you can tell, and even some creative decor projects, curb appeal, lots of things I'm excited to share with you. I think I'm most excited about the staging part of it. But today I just wanted to sit down and rest a little bit after working really hard out in the yard this morning. And I've got laundry to do anyway, so I thought I might as well chat with you while I have a seat, if you don't mind, because real life happens and this laundry has been piling up for too long. So today I wanted to share with you how my house hunting experience really impacted my ability to declutter so much better and have a better vision for living more minimally. If you've ever watched Unsellables or other shows like that, one of the main things that can keep a home from selling is being too cluttered. And so a moderate suggestion is to declutter at least 30%. I have been trying to declutter a lot more than that, and I've been on a decluttering journey for a while. So it surprised me how much I really had left to declutter. So I wanted to share with you today what had the most impact on me being able to visualize what a minimalist house would look like as I prepare to stage and show my home for sale. Where we wanted to move, as I shared in this video, the housing market is tough. It's hard to get into this little area, and the options there were pretty small. This house is about 2,000 square feet, and as I shared multiple times before, my husband even felt at the peak of our clutter problem that this was too small for our family and we should go bigger so that I wouldn't feel so overwhelmed with stuff. So I've been minimalizing. Our house is really working so much better. I would love to stay here, but you can go back and watch that video to see why we actually decided to move. But to get in the community that we wanted to be in, we had to consider much smaller homes. We're adding another baby in May, so the idea of downsizing was very stressful, I think, to my husband, but the benefits of being near a support system and all just really had me super motivated to say, hey, I'm gonna go full on minimalist. This will work. Now, we had one lined up that was about 1,300 square feet to look at, but it already had an offer on it, so I felt like that one wasn't an option. So we expanded our search a little bit further away in a place that was also a small town community and also had a good school in it, and it was a really good price, completely remodeled on the inside, an 1860s build. And I love historic homes. It was brick, had a wraparound porch, which I've always wanted a wraparound porch. And even though they had redone the inside with new electrical, new floors, and making the walls and such amazing, this old house had the original staircase and banister and a lot of other neat features. So I was in love with it, and even though the kitchen was about a third of the size of mine now, which living here for 4 years, I kind of felt like, oh, I could do with some more storage space. I just loved this house so much that I was willing to say, what can I get rid of to make this old house work? Now, the other cool things that I liked about it were 8-foot tall windows with wide windowsills so I could put plants on it. The kids' bedrooms, there were 3 bedrooms upstairs with these beautiful windows, lots of lighting, enough room for our kids. Like, I didn't feel like they would have less room than they currently do now. Actually, they would probably have a lot more in their bedrooms. It was 2-bathroom, there was no basement. There was no real like washroom, laundry room. They did have like a little utility room with the water heater and the electrical panel and stacked washer and dryer. There just wasn't any storage space at all. And currently we use our freezer room as storage space. So we would just have to be done with all of that stuff in the freezer room. There's no garage, which we don't have one here either, but we do have a shed. And my husband was hoping for a garage, so that was something we'd kind of have to compromise on. And there was no coat closet, which here we don't have a coat closet either, but I have a space for a wardrobe closet kind of thing that I've been using. There was no pantry space whatsoever, but the master bedroom was on the main floor, and there were 2 small closets about the size of that. So I was envisioning the similar setup that we've had up in our master bedroom in the past, which was a bed frame that's tall enough to put sliding baskets underneath for my clothes, and then we would just keep the dresser that my grandpa gave me for my husband's clothes against one wall. So even though it was small, I could see how that could work. And one of the closets I would repurpose for a pantry that I could fit a vacuum in and any dry goods that we would need. I don't think that there was a dishwasher even, which I felt like if we downsized our dishes enough, that would be fine because we would just wash our dishes after we used them and we wouldn't need a dishwasher, right? But there really wasn't much storage to speak of in the kitchen. There would be one cabinet that I would keep my Instant Pot in. That's the main appliance that I use. And I had to think about what could I part with to make this house work, because my husband shared with me while we were there that he would be working a lot more hours with this new contract at his job. He's gonna be able to keep his job, so that's wonderful. There wasn't an office space in this house though, so that was also something that we had kind of wanted to be in the home, but we thought with the good price of this house, he could just rent an office space and that would be an option as well. There also wasn't very good internet, which would not be ideal. But after seeing several not great options, this one was so much better, but even if it was by itself, I would have loved it anyway. And it had a nice long backyard for the kids to play in, and it kind of went back to a creek. The small town had a lot of old historic churches and just beautiful structures. So I was in love with it. I thought it was charming. And so I came up with this plan of how I would make the entryway have hooks for if we needed to put coats, or maybe a coat rack, and a storage cubby bench for our shoes right when you enter that you could sit on, and I just had an idea of how I could make this space work. But we would really have to be like hardcore minimalists, and you've seen in my home before if you've been watching my channel, we haven't been there yet. So even though we did not end up buying this house, my husband just wasn't comfortable downsizing the kitchen that much, which is funny because he doesn't cook. I would be the one that would have to adjust to it, so I found that amusing. But I definitely want to be on the same page as him. But just being able to picture our stuff in this space, making this space work, really helped me see what I have that's not essential. If you have to go through and pick a third of your possessions to fit into a household, at least a third of my kitchen anyways, then you're a lot more decisive. So when there was another option that was also 1,300 square feet, but it had zero curb appeal, didn't have any of the interesting historic features that I liked, between that house and this wonderful 1860s house, I was so trying to make this work. And I truly believe that downsizing from about a 2,000 square foot home to a 1,300 square foot home is worth it when you are able to be around the people that you love, do the things that you love, and really I've seen that minimalizing our stuff makes my life easier and I enjoy it more. Like I said, the cozy historic feeling of the home, it was just really interesting. My husband didn't have peace about it, so we didn't end up getting it. But coming back to this home, in preparation for a move, I was really able to use the vision of that house. I made a list and everything of what I would be able to get rid of and how I would make a small space work. And I've just been able to let go of so much more. So I wanted to share that with you. The idea, what would I keep if I could only fit things in this amount of space, really helped me. And really that's what the container concept that Dana K. White over at A Slab Comes Clean talks about quite a bit, and that has helped me so much. Thinking of your home as a container with limits. Your living room only has so much space for furniture before it starts feeling crowded, before you have so much on your shelves that you can't find what you need, things like that. Now I'm going to be sharing with you the deep dive into my decluttering journey coming up as we prepare to move, getting rid of about 80% of our stuff. And I've not been able to do that before until I had this vision in my mind, like I said, of this home and trying to fit things into it and not feel crowded, still have that minimalist feeling. So just a lot of mental shifts in how I'm thinking about stuff, what's truly important. This last push and the idea of staging my home has also really enabled me to let go of a lot more. And I think what helps me too is being able to find somebody who might need the things. Now, if you're really just needing to get rid of stuff to have more space to enjoy where you're living, not necessarily just moving, but enjoying your life more, finding the proper place, just the right way to get rid of stuff is not always the best tactic, because it might sit around for a while until somebody can come pick it up or whatever. I've found great success on the Buy Nothing groups near me, posting what I want to get rid of, and people will come and pick it up on a certain day. So that's what's been helping me if your donation centers are not yet open. So the amount of stuff that has left my house lately has really astounded not only me, but my husband. Our basement, if you saw this video, you know our basement was packed full until a couple days ago, and I really tackled it. It is now basically empty. We had the carpet replaced, so we had to get everything out of there. So projects like that and deadlines like that are very motivational. But you know what I wish? I wish that I'd made the basement lovely and peaceful and relaxing, like it felt when we first saw it and it was empty, before I filled it up with my stuff and made it kind of like a holding place for maybe later projects that later never came. Now that it has this beautiful new carpet, it just feels so amazing, and I wish that we could have enjoyed it at least for a year before having to go. And the idea of staging the home, just making the house feel serene and look appealing to the eye, that is all stuff that I should have made a priority while we were living here, enjoying it. But I've only now reached that point where I can think more clearly using the decluttering methods that other people have shared with me that I'm excited to share with you. They've really changed my life, and I just wanted to share my excitement with you. So stay tuned to see what all is happening with our home and how we're really sprucing it up and making it what I wanted it to be, but didn't know how to get there in time. So our next home, I think I have a better handle on how I can make that happen super quickly. I can't wait to share that with you as well. So if you want to stay tuned, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll know when the next video is up. Like I said, a lot more coming. But if you want to keep hanging out now, YouTube thinks you'd enjoy this video, and this is a decluttering playlist that can get you some momentum if you're also trying to declutter your home. I'll see you in the next video. Things that keeps homes, I can't talk. One of the main things that keeps homes from selling are being